Hey everybody, it's Chief Gen X. How y'all doing this today? Uh, got another sea story for you. This one's from one of my dumb mistakes. I remember this one back in when I was on my first ship again. I was a sonar tech, and we were doing some maneuvers, and our equipment, when my fire control system went down, and we had three of us technicians up there. We were digging around and poking around with our oscopes and our meters and all that stuff, and then we had to lay out our troubleshooting guides, and we had these things called long lines. They were literally about 4 feet long. I wish I was kidding lying about this, but our long lines were 4 foot long line. Freaking looked like maps. They weren't sketches or anything or blueprints. They were just like freaking maps, electronic maps, basically for troubleshooting. So we were back there digging around that, and that fault was going in and out. And our system was a completely analog system. Now, I know I'm dating this thing for some of y'all. Like analog, with the wires, potentiometers, servos, synchros. That's how ancient this thing was. Okay, this is back in 1989, 1990, somewhere in that time frame. Like in 87 when I got to the first ship. So you're talking like 87 to 91, I was on my first ship. So you're talking this stuff, and this ship is already 16, 17 years old. So you're looking at, 1970s, mid-1970s technology. And we had to fix it. And we're in the 80s and almost in the 90s. So sometimes it was almost impossible to chase this wandering error we had, and it would come and go. Well, most of that was because the wires were old and brittle. They give off, errant readings because of the static electricity in the air or whatever it was, and we'd be chasing that thing forever. It'd go away, come back, go away, come back. Well, this one wasn't going away. It was there for stay, and it was going to stay that way. We just thought, we thought we'd be real quick to fix it. Next thing you know, we got our chief up there. He knew the system too. He was up there scratching his head. He just looked at us and said, "Well, I don't know what's going on wrong with it. So I got 3 of you guys up here. Fix it. We're not going. You know the rules. Don't go to bed until it's fixed." And that was the rule. You didn't go to bed until it's fixed. So there we are, the 3 of us: Floyd, myself, and George. The 3 of us were sitting there digging it. Was it George? Yeah, I think it was George. We were up there digging through it, trying to fix it. And we looked like 3 monkeys trying to fix a football. There for a while. Had the system laid out, opened up, open wires and potentiometers, and it's all small voltage, 28 DC, 4 AC, something like that. Most of it was direct current, but it was small stuff, But it was small enough. It was large enough though. When it bit you, you knew it. You're like, ah, shit, you won't do that no more. You think, hope, no. Inside those potentiometers, though, they'd hold a lot of electricity. You're like, you got to be careful. There's static electricity in there, and you're going to get zapped. And that thing, it'll connect. Trust me, it'll connect. So you become like an antenna sometimes. So we're in there digging through it. We're getting ready to pull into Patty Beach. That's where we're. I remember that for sure. We're getting ready to pull into Patty Beach. And the 3 of us were like, nobody's going to sit here and work on this son of a bitch when it's supposed to be Liberty time. So we're busting their butt, getting everything laid out. All the tech manuals and all the freaking schematics are laid out. We're tracing this down. We're chasing this thing down like a bunch of wild dogs. But it's a slow, tedious process. It's very slow, very, very tedious, and you have to have a lot of patience, which the 3 of us did not have at that time. We didn't have a lot of patience at all. So it was quite a joyride for a while. The first 12 hours, we're scratching our head, we're trying to figure things out. We're chasing this to go this way, go that direction. It was just wasn't working. And most of us had already been up for 8 or 9 hours after that, and before the system started on us. So, long story short, 24 hours into it, we had not got it fixed yet. We're tracing it down. We know what caused it. We just haven't got it to fix it. We had plenty of spare parts, and that's all I'll say about that, because we were supposed to have them. We were supposed to have spare parts, but we always had something laying around that we wouldn't have to worry about it in the middle of nowhere. We didn't worry about the supply system. We had something to swap it out. And yeah, that was a big no-no back then. You couldn't do that. But we did it. We didn't give a shit. We said, fuck it. So, when shit hits the fan, you got to get things working. You just do what you got to do. So we're in there digging around, chasing us down. My buddy Floyd goes, "Hey, grab that O-scope, step on the desk over there," and then you had to step on. It was really small spaces. Had to step on the desk, foot over there. I looked like some kind of a freaking oversized monkey, giraffe looking whatever. I had my hand on the freaking big old cable. I had my feet were spread up on a couple of file cabinets, in a storage cabinet, file cabinet, storage cabinet. Got an arm here. Got my hand inside the equipment with a lead. And Floyd's like, "Okay, touch that lead to this pot right there, that tab right there." "Okay, this tab right here." He goes, "Yeah, okay, that one right here." "Cool, all right, no problem." We're taking test leads. We're taking current checks on it and electricity checks, making sure whatever one's shorting out, we can swap it out. No big deal, right? All right, well, so we're going around. No big deal. As we go. Okay, that pot's not there. Okay, go to the next one. He reads it out. I got it right there. Okay, I put a zeroing pin in there to hold the potentiometer to keep the servo, anyway, from keeping the servo from moving. We go to just dials. So I put that that pin in there, and I said, "Okay," I read it back to him. He says, "Oh, yeah, that's the one. This is the one. Sorry, Sugar Ray. Start taking, readings." So I start taking my readings. I bop, 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 and I call them out. And ship's doing this stuff. It's the slow, smooth rock. Yeah, the slow, smooth, pitch and roll. Not a big deal. It's small, smooth. That's perfect because you can anticipate it. And I got one hand. I'm looking like a freaking monkey up there. So I'm like, but I'm riding the wave. No big deal. And he's like, "You okay up there?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right, man. Just let's get this over with." He's all right. So we're chasing it down. He's all right. Not that one. So I pull it out. Go to the next servo. Bring pin in. Boom. Bring it in. We're bringing it. We must have went through, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, doing the same thing. Boom, 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 methodically all the way around each pin. Now some of them had 6 pins, some of them had 16 pins, some of them had 20 pins. It just depends on what it was supposed to do. So we go around, we finally get to this, and he's like, "You need a break up there?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, dude. Don't worry about it. I got a dip in my mouth. I got coffee right over here. It's right next to me on the ledge. I can take a sip. And if I really need it that bad, I can pull a cigarette out and just pop a cigarette and smoke a cigarette. But I was nicotine and caffeine infused that time, and I was ready to rock. I said, let's get over with, Grady." He said, "All right, bro, let's do it." His nickname is Grady. Greatest guy in the world. So we're going around, popping there. So we get in there, and we got the big green curtain closed because God knows that I'm doing is totally freaking unsafe, and I get my ass chewed up for big time being up there. So we got the curtain closed, we got it weighted down so nobody can open it up, just by brushing it, and then and I'm sitting there doing this shit. I'm like, "Yep, nope, yep, okay." So we hit a potentiometer that, bam, it's got a bad lead. Okay, cool, great. Now we got to take that thing out. All right, no problem. We can do that. So I leave the pin in there. I said, "I have one of them jewelry screwdrivers. This one's tiny." He goes, all right. Don't drop it." I'm like, "All right, I won't drop it." I had a bad tendency back then of dropping little bitty ass screws, and we had to chase them all over the place. It was a pain in the ass, and they hated it. And I always caught shit for it. Rightfully so, but I always got caught shit for it. Like I said, I'd get up there and I'd get this close and drop. Fuck. And all I hear is, "Damn it, Sugar Ray." "Yeah, I know. I'll get it. Fuck it." And but a magnet fuck up the whole damn electricity thing. Everything goes nuts for a couple of minutes, and you're like, "Where's the magnet at? You got a magnet in there?" "Yeah. What for? I'm gonna get the damn screw." So I pull it, pot in there. So I go back to, back the pot, and they're doing the screw, and I pull my hand away from that cable. So I'm standing on the cabinet and the file cabinet, our supply cabinet and our file cabinet. And I'm just standing there, and I got a hold of that potentiometer. Now, this is something you never want to do, but I did it anyway because I had to steady myself. Once I got myself steadied, I went to take my hand off the potentiometer. I had the screwdriver in my hand. The screw was going into my hand like this. It dropped into my hand. I said, "Oh, got the screw." Now, Right hand secured. Got screwed in my right hand. My left hand comes up, gently brushes one of the cables, one of the cable runs. Pow! Instantly, I get zapped. The ship is moving at the same time, and I'm like, okay, you gotta, all this is happening at one time. The ship is rocking, and it hit like a little jerk motion here, and so I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. So then come up, and I'm like, okay, and I brushed my hand across that freaking. What we found out later on was a bare wire. It was about 110. It was a bare 110 wire. I brushed my knuckle out up against it. It hit me. I mean, it hit me freaking hard. Bam! Fucking pow! It hits. Right? I'm snapping. I ain't got nothing to hold on to. The ship is rocking one way. My body goes the other. I went through the curtain, through the big green curtain, out the back part of Combat Information Center. I look like a freaking 6'3" bullet come flying out of that freaking curtain. Whew, bam! I land on my back. Right? I got jettisoned out of my work area into Combat Information Center. Landed on my back, right behind the leading petty officer's desk where he was sitting at. He was sitting there doing paperwork. I fall down, slide right into his chair, and I'm like this. I'm sucking air. I can't breathe. I can't do anything. I'm just sitting there sucking air. And this smart ass is sitting there and he goes, what the hell wrong with you? What'd you do? Hey, you can't be flying in combat. Fucking, like, son of a... And my chief had to be on watch that day. He was on watch. He come to run around the corner. He's like, God damn it, Sugar Ray, what the fuck did you do, you dumb son of a bitch? And I'm like, He's like, oh shit, he can't get his breath. So he comes up there and he pops me on the chest, and I'm like, and I get my breath back. I'm like, oh fuck, shit. He's like, what are you doing over here? I got a little tingle. A little tingle. You came out of freaking that curtain man like a bullet. What the hell are you guys doing back there? We're chasing the lead. I think we're chasing the air. Still? I said, yeah. He goes, I said, but I think I found the problem. He goes, oh, really? You think? I said, yeah. He goes, tell me. I said, well, I found a bare wire. He goes, how'd you find that? Wasn't intentional. Nothing's intentional with you, Sugar Ray. I see that. I told him what we did. I told him what happened, and he just shook his head. He goes, damn it, Sugar Ray, why has it got to be you? Of all people, it's always you did this shit done. I said, I don't know, Chief, but right now my back hurts like a son of a bitch. My hand's still tingling like I can't feel my fucking hand. You're like, all right, let's go down to the dock. She picks me up. He takes me down the dock. Telling the doc some oddball shit. You don't tell the doc exactly what happened, because Doc will have a shit fit. And so he's like telling Doc, Doc, he's a little full. He just got brushed up a little bit of, electricity. He just needs to be checked out. Doc's like, God dang it, what the fuck are y'all doing at the fucking season? Shit, bring him in here. Put him on the EKG. I was like, trust me, folks, when I say this, I mean it for real. I can hook myself up to an EKG blindfolded. All right? I've had enough of them done in my time. I can do this shit blindfolded, half asleep, drunk, otherwise. It don't matter. I can do it by myself. I've been X-ray techs or EKG techs are like astounded. They're like, oh, you can do that by yourself? There's a fucking million of these bastards. All right? When you have a bad ticker, that kind of shit happens. So I get in there. Doc pull the shirt off. In there, starts putting the leads on me. He's like, all right, lay down, relax. He goes, what hurts? I said, my back and my hand. He goes, what's numb? He says, beside your brain. I'm like, I said, my hand on up like almost to my elbow and stuff. It was like my whole arm was numb there for a while, but right now it's just to my elbow. He's like, all right, do you know what you hit? I said, not for sure, Senior, but I'm pretty sure it was 110 volt cable. 110. Yep. AC? Yeah, AC. I hit 110 AC is what I think I did. All right, we'll go with that just to make sure. Okay. So he's setting his EKG up, and he putting it on there. He puts the leads on there. He's doing some things with he's tweaking it a little bit so he can actually see what's going on. So I tell him about my murmur. I have a murmur. He goes, all right, cool. I need to know about that. You got the murmur. He goes, yeah, that's right. He opens up my mouth, gets my record out, starts opening up, looking through it. And he goes, damn, boy, you had a lot of shit done with your ticker, huh? I said, yes, sir, I have. And we're just sitting there chit-chatting. He goes, all right, now I need about 90 seconds or so of complete quiet, complete, rest, so I can get a real good read on this EKG. It's not a problem. I'll shut up now. So about 3 minutes go by, I guess. He's like, well, I guess 3 minutes is good enough. And he looks at it, he goes, all right, yeah. Hey, you got regular sinus rhythm. He goes, I think you'll be all right. But damn it, quit playing with electricity. I said, Senior, that's all I do for a living. We hunt submarines and fix that piece of shit equipment up there. You know how it is. He goes, yeah, I know, I've been up there. It's a piece of shit. Yeah, it's a freaking turd. It's like wires from hell. Just be careful and don't do anything stupid. I'm like, and I just had to bite my lip. Yes, Senior. So, yeah. Come back to combat, and I come up there. I stop by the mess decks. I get a cup of coffee. I pop a look at my cigarettes. I said, I got cigarettes. Got a can of dip. I mean, I was nicotined out. I come back up to combat, going behind the curtain. The guy's like, hey, that wire they hit you? I'm like, yeah, that wire they hit me. He was like, yeah, that was our problem. I was like, well, fuck, I'm great. Thankful we found it. And my buddy goes, no, brother, you found it. I was like, yeah, well, I found it the hard fucking way. I'm tired of doing that shit. He's like, so we got it fixed up. We buttoned it up just in time. And yeah, we got to go. We got to have some good liberty in Thailand. It was a good time. So that was one of the things. One of the few things. Many things that happened on me in this time. I had a real blast on that ship. I really loved it. The guys that are great. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you guys. If you like the content, you like what you're seeing, please hit that like button. I really appreciate it, and share it with your friends. And don't be stingy with it, because I know you guys like this stuff. You're gonna have friends that like it. My goober ass is y'all think I'm funny. That's great. I like it. I don't. I'm just telling you stories about what I did. I was just some of the stupid shit I did, or some of the stupid shit I was part of. And just that and the Gen X stuff, and this is part of my life. This is what it was. The Gen X and freaking Navy. That's pretty much what I've done for the rest of my life, all my life. And there's been some times where some really corny shit. So please, you like it, share it. Let everybody know about it. I greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Y'all have a great, blessed day. And this is Chief Gen X, and I am out.